Live across North Texas and beyond, this is the Jenna Ryan Show.
Ain't that America? For you and me. Ain't that America? Little pink houses for you.
Jenna Ryan is a world-renowned speaker and thought leader, ranked in the 87th most influential person online by Fast Company magazine. Jenna Ryan has spoken to thousands around the world and is now speaking to you. So with all things real estate and beyond, here is Jenna Ryan.
Hello, everyone. What is up? What is up, Dallas, Texas? Hope everybody is doing good today. I am doing fantastic. I am so glad that the weather has returned to us, that the sun is shining. Well, it's kind of great this morning, but man, that was a really long run of cold rain and gloomy days. And I just, I have 2 new puppies and having to walk them in that mud. Oh, it was just a nightmare. I'm so glad that the sun is shining and my puppies can get out and the beautiful weather and I can get out. Aren't you just grateful for today? I mean, it's just a wonderful, beautiful day. There's nothing stopping us. The spring is here. It's real estate time. It's time to buy and sell. It's time to get out there. It's time to make changes. It's time to adjust your life. It's time to downsize your home. It's time to get that bigger home. It's time because there's been no better time in the Dallas-Fort Worth market for real estate. We're in the hottest market it's ever been. We've got low interest rates. We've got plenty of houses out there. Well, okay, there's a shortage, but if you're going to, you can move a little bit farther away and afford it, or you can redo a house closer in and afford it. There's just no better day than today. And we are going to talk about some topics today that may or may not be happy, but we're going to make it a happy topic regardless because it's all about improving where you are, not just staying stuck, not just, taking, a foreclosure, but rather selling your home directly. And I'm here today with John Cardamon of HomeInvestorDirect. Good morning, John.
Hi there. Good morning.
Good morning. And we're going to talk about how you can sell your home directly via auction on the internet. You don't have to go through a real estate agent. You can just go directly to him. If you're experiencing some issues, you've made a deal with the bank, you can do this situation. And we'll get into that as well. And then we've got Josh Dixon here with us today. Hi, Josh.
Hi.
Josh is a CPA, and he handles tax issues for people going through hell.
Pretty much, yeah.
He works with people going through hell. So if you're going through hell, don't stay there. That's Norman Vincent Peale. Don't stay in hell. Get your butt out of hell and start working on improving yourself. Go out there and start filing your taxes. File 5 of them in a row.
I've had people file up to 10.
File 10 in a row. And then I've had people file 5 and then get a house. Literally file 5 tax returns. I was like, what? Is this really happening? So that's interesting. So we're going to talk about getting all this stuff cleared away, getting all this stuff fixed. And I'm so excited. I am a real estate agent, everyone. I'm a broker. I'm a real estate broker. I have Jenna Ryan Realty. I also have this radio show, which is called The Jenna Ryan Show, but I'm contemplating changing the name to DFW Real Estate Show because I just want everybody to know that that's what it's about. What do y'all think about that? Do you think that's a good idea?
I like it.
What do you think's better, the Jenna Ryan Show or DFW Real Estate Show?
I kind of like both. I mean, I definitely like the Jenna Ryan Show, but also the DFW Real Estate just kind of sounds like it appeals to more topics.
Okay, so which one?
The DFW Real Estate Show. Now, granted, it's all going to be focused around real estate, but it's nice that you're bringing in other aspects of real estate.
Okay, so you think I should name the show. You guys out there on Facebook Live, what do you think I should do? Should I name the show the DFW Real Estate Show, or should I keep it the Jenna Ryan Show? What do y'all think? I'm interested to hear your opinion because I'm seriously considering changing it just because I want to turn it into a TV show. And I know that's kind of a wild idea, but I would like to do a weekly TV show where I showcase Dallas real estate, whatever there is, and I kind of bring some personality to it. And we get on TV, and I just think the Jenna Ryan Show is so broad, and it doesn't really tell you what it's about.
Maybe you can do DFW Jenna Ryan Show.
I could do that. I could do that. That's a great idea.
Or the Jenna Ryan Real Estate Show.
The Jenna Ryan Real Estate Show. Well, those are all great ideas. I would love to hear from you guys. You guys can call. The phone lines are open at 214-787-1190. Now let's talk with John. John Cardamon, you have Home Investor Direct. Tell me a little bit about your website.
Well, what it is a website where a homeowner can get on there and place their home. I put it in for them, but they can, if they have whatever problem they got, whether foreclosure, bankruptcy, or they need to sell their house because of a job relocation that they got fired or whatever the case may be, there's always cases.
Right.
And these poor homeowners are stuck with having to try to sell their house quickly.
Okay.
Which is what I do. And the only other alternative there is are these wholesale flippers out there that go make you sign a legal binding contract and sign basically your equity away for whatever they get above what they sign for.
Okay, you need to get in the shot here. We're live on Facebook at Jenna.Ryan1. Just kind of move your head and go like that, okay?
Okay.
So you can get in this shot because this video is going to go on YouTube and it's going to go on my website and it's going to stay there for years. And so people are going to look up your name and there you're going to be. And if you have half of a face on there, it's not very fun. So basically what John is doing is he's coming in and he's acting like a wholesaler. Now, he is a wholesaler, but he's actually cutting down the fees. What is a wholesaler?
A wholesaler is a person that gets a call. They go do this digital marketing, and people call them. They run out, sign them up on a contract, package it up with a flyer, and mail it out to a ton of investors that come in and buy it. What they do is they're basically flipping the house to investors for a huge profit.
Okay, so they come out and they say, "Hi, Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith, I want to purchase your home for cash," and they sign a contract with a 14-day option period. And then they send an email out to all the investors that they know and say, "Hey, I've got this property," and then they let it go to the highest bidder. Then they turn around and because you are able to do this, they sell the contract to one of the investors. Is that correct?
They flip the contract over and take over that position from the flipper wholesaler.
Okay. And so they take over that position and the wholesaler charges how much?
Whatever they get. See, you sign a contract, let's say that the house is worth $200.
Right.
They go in there and sign it up for $100.
Right.
And they put it out there for $130, $40.
Right.
So guess what? They get the $130, $40. Mine's different. All I do is I put it in there just like they do, send it out to the same investor group, and I stand back and let the bidding happen where the homeowner gets that money, not the flippers.
Love it. So you've built a network of investors, and so you go directly to the homeowner, and instead of signing a contract for the house, you have them sign what?
It's just they come on my site and they just list it for free.
They list it for free, but there has to be something to keep me, a real estate agent, from signing up on your site and going and stealing all your listings. So what are you having them sign to keep me?
It's a sign up form.
It's a sign up, but you called it something when we were on the phone. You said it was a blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's just a listing sign up form.
Listing sign up form,
right?
That says that they can't go and list it.
Right. That I have to prove it and I have to see it and put it in myself. I put it in myself.
Okay, so it's not necessarily legally binding for them if they like.
Right, and the legal binding part of it comes when a contract comes in, and then I go present them with the contract from the buyer, from the investor, right to directly. That's what the word is, directly to the homeowner.
What I really love about your website is that, because I had a gentleman on who does auctions, and we were talking about how hot the market is right now and how it would be easy to kind of set up a new innovative way of selling homes in this Dallas-Fort Worth market under $300K. Whereas, we kind of do it like an auction theme, because that's basically what I'm doing. When I go in and sell a house under $300, that house is going to be gone in one day. But I always stretch it out a little bit, almost like a little auction, and let people bid, so to speak. But it's not, I don't go, hey, $959, butter, shredder, hutter. I don't do that, but I should. And I'm thinking, so that's really what intrigued me about your website at Home Investor Direct. And what you're doing is very similar to Open Door concept.
Basically,
you're kind of competing with Open Door.
Actually buys it probably through an investor group too.
Absolutely.
And then they turn around and they'll retail it.
Yeah, they're turning around and retailing it, which is a different animal.
It's a different animal.
But you're wanting the same people that Open Door is getting.
Right.
But people with Open Door, they just come in, here's the money, boom. What you're saying is, now how long does it take for the home to sell on your website?
I put a 15-day auction period. There's a 1-day or like 2 to 3 hour one-time showing where the investors can come over there and look at it, do their due diligence before they sign a contract.
Right.
And they come in there in 1 day and they do all their inspections, due diligence, and then I give them, I think, 7 days to bid. So
okay.
Right now I've got one live right now that just got bid up. The homeowner's ecstatic. It got more than what we thought it was going to get.
Wow.
So he's pretty ecstatic right now.
Yeah, that usually happens with me. Most of the time whenever I list a property, people are like, whoa, they don't understand. And once I get a hold of that property and I go in and I decorate and clean, and not personally, but I have a staff. I have a team, not a staff. Anyway, you guys, we got to go to break right now, right? Are we ready for break? Okay, so we got to go to break right now, but we will be right back, and I'm going to tell you what's going on in my single life when we get right back in just a minute.
Hello, this is Michael Multhen,
And I'm Jennifer Brown,
host of a brand new show, M2 The Rock Radio,
where we discuss hurts, habits, and addictions.
Be sure and join us for our new times, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 to 5.
And Saturdays, noon to 1.
That's M2 The Rock Radio, right here, 1190 AM.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Experts warn of a stock market crash any day now, and you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings again. But you don't have to lose a penny. There's a better, safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn about it in a free report. This method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com. Bankonyourself.com.
Napa Know How.
Hey, I'm Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 Napa Chevy. Here to tell you that when you spend $25 at Napa this month, you'll get a free number 9 Napa racing cap. So whether you're a fan of drivers with fast cars or just a fan of keeping the sun out of your eyes, you'll get a free number 9 racing cap just for spending $25 at Napa. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know How.
Napa Know How.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 3/31/18.
From the Jenna Ryan Weather Center, cloudy today, and then later on we're going to be seeing scattered showers and thunderstorms across the Metroplex with the high approaching 68. Tonight, cloudy skies, the low dropping near 62. I'm Zach Killian. This report brought to you by In-N-Out Burger.
At In-N-Out, they're all about making you the freshest burgers and fries possible. That's why every one of their restaurants sources their 100% beef and whole produce right here in Texas. To them, that's what a hamburger's all about.
Hello, everyone. It's Jenna Ryan here. I am ready to get close and transparent, close and personal with my audience today. So I was talking with some friends, and they were like, Jenna, we really want to know more about your life because, you've got a really interesting life, and I really think you need to use a little bit more of that on the show. So that, it keeps people interested because, you're talking about these topics, but what people really like is they want to know what's going on. Information is great, but they want to know what's going on. So I decided to kind of let you guys in a little bit about what's going on with me. And really the most exciting thing is that I am single. And there's nothing wrong with me. I'm single. Yes, I'm single. I'm not, going to take your man. I have high character. I would never, ever go out with anyone married. But I'm single, and that's just the way I am. And I think it's because I'm really happy being the way I am, and it's really difficult for me to pick one. because I'm really happy, and they've got to have, I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm working on why I'm still single. So I'm in my 40s, and you should try dating in your 40s, okay? It's like, it's not easy because it's not easy anytime. But then they're asking all these questions like, why are you single? And you're like, what? Why are you single, you pighead? And it kind of gets, that's how I feel. And that's kind of immature. Maybe that's why I'm single. Who knows? But the point being is that I'm excited. I'm going to go on a date next week. I'm going to go on a date. I'm going to find a date, someone who will date me. And it's really easy right now because you could just go on Tinder and find a date. And not everybody on Tinder is wanting just to have a one-night stand. FYI, because I'm on there, or I've been on there, and I don't want a one-night stand. So you can go on there and meet normal people. And I think I'm going to try that Bumble. I'm sitting here with married people. Are y'all married? Okay,
Yes,
married people don't understand. Okay, but you might want to hear a little bit about what's going on. So Bumble is where the girl goes on and picks the guy. And that's I'm really old-fashioned. So it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go pick a guy, and, but he sure better pick up I'll go ahead and pick him, but he better come back and pick me, because otherwise I won't mess with it. And so I'm going to Match.com. That takes a lot of reading. You can go really fast on Tinder, or you can go to Match and sit down and read for 5 hours and pick a guy. And so then I am going to make a commitment to you guys that I'm going to go on at least one date this week. Okay? And I'm going to come back next week and tell you how the date went. I'm going to tell you what I went through. Okay? And hopefully it becomes great. And, that's what we're hoping for. But I will commit to one date on live, Facebook Live, on the radio, and I'll come back next week and let you know how it goes. And if anybody wants to ask me out, now's the time, because I'm going on one. Okay. So here we are. And I'm here today with John Cardamon. We're talking about HomeInvestorDirect.com. We're talking about if you want to sell your home and you are in trouble, okay, and you need to sell your home fast, and you don't have time to list it, you don't feel like picking up the dog doo-doo in the backyard, you don't feel like painting, you don't feel like fixing the foundation, you have no time, you're 2 months behind on your rent, on your mortgage, and you want to get that home sold ASAP to the highest bidder immediately, you would go to Home Investor Direct, right, John?
Absolutely. You can get on there yourself, put your information in, sign it up, and then I'll approve it and make a fabulous flyer that goes out to investors, and we deal directly with the investors. And
right.
I take a very, very small fee compared to the wholesaler flippers. And it's all up in front. There's no surprises, because the investors come in and they're buying this property, and they didn't know that there's a $20,000 difference between the buy price and what they're paying for it. Surprise! Right. Guess who gets it? The wholesaler flippers. Well,
no hard feelings for wholesaler flippers. They're doing they have a hard job. That's not the easiest job in the world. And if they find some extra skin on the bone, if they find some meat on the bone, then let them have it, because they deserve it and they know how to market the home properly. But if somebody is 2 months behind on rent, obviously they probably have other things on their mind rather than, profit and all of these things. Now, a lot of people are at a much different place, and not to say that those people that are going through that at that moment are always going to be there. They're not. But it's a matter of taking care of yourself rather than just letting everything fall to the wayside. I mean, you may be going through divorce. You may have had a death in the family. You may have some emotional things that have brought you to where you are, to where you need to sell your home. You're 2 months behind and you need to sell your home. And I would imagine, though, right now we have less people going through this because the market's so wonderful. But once the market turns, which it always will, because the real estate market is cyclical, and so it will go down. And so that's probably going to be whenever you're really getting a lot more even than now.
So, John, on these listings that you do, does it help people to avoid foreclosure then?
Right. I'm like you. I've got a full service at my fingertips where I have experts. I have some attorneys that can help stay foreclosures. I've got one I'm working with right now that I told that I could help like that. Like
So this can help people keep it off of their credit then? Is that what you're saying?
If depends.
Okay.
It depends. If they have to go through a bankruptcy deal, then that goes on there.
Sure.
I know of a wholesaler that literally will go in. He's like, I do everything for them. I will go and get them out of jail. I mean, they will. I mean, that's what the wholesaler will do. The wholesaler will do whatever. I'll go get them out of jail. I will, clean the house personally. The wholesaler usually has to do a lot of stuff like that. Have you ever had to get anyone out of jail?
Not yet.
Not yet, but you would probably if they have enough equity in their home.
Right.
Now, if someone, do they have equity in their home? Or are you doing the deal with the bank where the bank is going to take a loss?
No, most all these people that are in trouble, I'm going to size it up for them and give them the best alternative. I'm a full-fledged real estate broker as well, and I authentically care for the homeowners, and I'll go do the best thing I can. I've got 35 years of experience with this,
right?
And I've helped plenty of people in a lot of different ways with their problems and all. And I should have started a show 20 years ago called John, because everybody in the brother says, what do I do? What do I do?
Sure. I'm betting you get a lot of questions about this.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And do you have any experience with owner financing?
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like you do. I mean, it sounds like you're in that genre.
Yeah. I've done a little bit of everything. I just came out of a lease purchase deal that I did.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I've done a little bit of everything.
Well, that is awesome. So if someone wants to sell their property and they're a couple months behind, would they come to you before they'd have a deal with? I mean, can you help them with the deal with the mortgage company?
Most people like doing taxes.
Right.
Guess what? They do it the last minute.
Right.
And the same thing with homeowners.
Because they don't want to think about it.
They don't. They think that it will go away. Well, it won't. It gets worse every day. So
right.
If you got an issue, Home Investor Direct has solutions, and we can help in different ways.
And those of you who are listening, you may not be going through this hell, but you may know someone. And if you know someone that's behind and, you need money, they need money really quickly and they want to sell their house. Or if you're an investor, I have a ton of investors listening. And if you're an investor, you want to go to this HomeInvestorDirect.com and see the deals he's turning. He may have something you can bid on, and then you can get a house either to rent out or to flip. It's good for us to. Now, are you involved with the Dallas Real Estate Investor Group?
I have been, yeah, the REI. There's several out there.
Right, and Roddy. I spoke at the REI years ago. I used to go and speak for them a lot, and that was interesting whenever I used to do social media and stuff like that. And, well, that's great. And so how do you two now Josh does taxes and people with tax issues, and so
correct.
Those people are also going to need John's services. So this is a perfect
more than
mix
likely
today.
When we were talking here with John, I was thinking that, a lot of times we were saying that people fall into these issues essentially through no fault of their own.
Right.
You're saying right now, a lot of people, maybe they don't have these issues yet, but they may be coming up.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, but sometimes things happen.
Right.
I had a client that had a nice 6-figure income.
Right.
And they decided to ship her job overseas to India.
Oh my goodness.
And suddenly she was out of a job and she was having a hard time, finding new work and work that was had the same salary.
Right.
Where people have businesses and the business doesn't work out.
Right.
There's
it goes well for a few years
time.
and then things start, they go the wrong direction because the regulations changed or the market changed, and then they fall into this problem where they have problems, maintaining the home, and they have problems keeping up with their taxes, and
right.
kind of one thing leads to another.
Right. And that brings me to a question. John, why do you use your website rather than MLS? Why wouldn't you just list the property on the MLS?
I can do that. I can put it on the MLS as well.
Right.
And where a person can get full exposure in the MLS too, and maybe even bring a retail person in.
Right.
It depends on the time. Like, for instance, this last one I did, it was only a 15-day deal.
Right.
So to get a person in retail-wise, go through the lending process. And
okay,
all that.
so you're saying cash only. Well, I tell you what, if you have a home that's under $300K, you're going to get a lot of cash. I mean, you're going to get probably one cash offer anyway on the MLS.
Right.
So, I mean, there's people out there with a lot of money. You would be shocked. People that, aren't going out and buying $800,000 homes, people with cash that are just wanting the $300,000 home. So, we can do really well. And I just want to say hello to my listeners today. We've got Jay Cooney. We've got Matthew Massengale. Hi, Matthew. Miss you. Hope you're doing well. Jeff LaFrance. And that reminds me of one of the best deals we ever did. We had this huge bidding war on a home this in the past 365 days. We had this humongous bidding war where people just were fighting over this home, and it was in Plano, kind of by Preston and Legacy area. Oh my gosh, we got at least 20, 30,000 over our asking, because we knew we were asking a little low. We got like 20 or 30 over. And then we got the appraisal clause in there to keep, anything, because I think we came in lower on the appraisal. We got the appraisal clause. That's really important. And we had a bidding war. And that's what I specialize. I love bidding wars. But whenever I do the bidding war, I'm very ethical, because you have to be, but also just because of my own personal character. I just, it's not like I want to cause people pain and frustration. I'm really like, okay, here's the deal. Here's what we've got. Very straightforward. Give us your best offer. Give us your highest and best. And then we like to get, the best deal for the sellers. I do a lot of listings. I list a lot of properties. And there's probably a lot of people that I've talked to this week that are listening to my show today that are thinking about having me list your home. And if that is you, I want to list your property. And give us a call, and you could call me or go send me an email at jennaryanrealty@gmail.com or text me at 972-510-9177. And also, we are very excited. So we're going to break, and we're going to come back and talk with Josh Dixon about tax issues. Here we go.
Guns mean different things to different people. For some, when they think guns, they think crime. For others, guns mean hunting, recreational shooting, or competition. Many men and women see guns as the key to protecting their families. Hi, I'm Tom Gresham, host of Gun Talk. No matter how you feel about guns, you now have a place to talk about it. Join me Sundays, 1 to 4 p.m. on Talk Radio 1190.
Looking for ways to save with your Medicare plan? Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many of the nation's plans, which could mean lower copays for you. So bring your prescriptions to a Walgreens pharmacy today to start saving. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Walgreens participates as a preferred network pharmacy with Cigna HealthSpring and Humana. Walgreens participates with other plans. See walgreens.com/Medicare for details.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer.
I'm a barber.
A waitress.
A mom. We're all part of your community. Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty, something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
From the Jenna Ryan Weather Center, cloudy today with scattered showers and thunderstorms with a high approaching 68. Tonight, cloudy with the low dropping near 62. I'm Dontrell Johnson. This report is brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today, you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lungcancer to learn more.
Welcome back to the Jenna Ryan Show.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the show. We're so glad to have you today. Today, I want to just emphasize positive thinking for a minute. I just want to take a moment to think positively and let you know what's on the top of my mind. You know, I'm all about personal development, and I'm all about staying grateful and staying thankful. And not only staying grateful and thankful, but here's what's really I'm focusing on this week is staying grateful for others. Okay? Because there's been I've had to go through a lot of crap, and you know how people treat you like crap, and maybe you've been, gone through hell. Well, I'm really on this kick of really focusing on the good in everyone, okay? I don't care how bad they treat you. I don't care what they do to you. I don't care what resentment you have or what, just really focusing on the best parts about the person. Even if it's a mean client. I have some mean clients. Some people are mean.
Don't we all?
God. Take a pill chill, but really just loving people and walking in love towards others and focusing on the positive and, not being reactive. Like if somebody says something to get your goat, not letting it get your goat and just going, you know what, bless that person's heart, not in a negative way, not in a way like you want to stab in the back and, get revenge, but just like, okay, that has nothing to do with me. I'm going to look towards the light. I'm going to look towards the sky. I'm going to look up. I'm going to focus on what's good. And whenever you focus on what's good, the good comes back to you. And because we're creators of our own existence, and whatever you're manifesting in your life, you're thinking about. So you want to focus on positive. Today I'm here with Josh Dixon, and we're going to be talking about coming out of your tax issues.
Right.
Dealing with it.
Right.
Focusing on it in a positive way.
It can be.
I know it's a
tough
negative
topic.
thought. People don't want to think about taxes.
Not really.
They don't want to think about taxes, but thinking about it is, I remember I was really stressed out about taxes just because the word tax has stress attached to it for me. Okay? Just because my whole life, growing up, I had issues with taxes. And so,
well, they don't teach
not
those things in school.
but no, family members.
Yeah.
And so I watched them lose things. I'm talking wealthy family members. I saw them lose things.
Sure.
And so I had issues with taxes. And so it became a very difficult thing growing up. And so that's how I feel about. That's why I have negativity about taxes. Is just watching negative things as a child. But a wise person told me one day, and I go, oh my God, my taxes. And this was several years ago. Oh my God, my taxes. And he goes, just pay them. I go, oh, okay, just pay them. Well, that makes sense.
Well,
so
it's easier said than done a lot of times.
Okay, so go ahead and let us know.
So I mean, there's things out there, there's tools out there, there's TurboTax, and they can help you get your taxes done. And a lot of times, if you have a simple tax situation, then I think that's great.
Right.
I will recommend TurboTax to some people,
right,
if they can do it themselves, if they don't have a lot going on.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that they wind up in a lot of tax problems. A lot of times I think it's just they're maybe afraid to do it.
Right.
Because they have something complex going on with their taxes. They have something. They have investments, or they have rental properties, or they have they bought or sold a home, or they invested in a property. And they don't know what to do.
Okay. So basically what you do is you help people. A lot of times people are on W-2, so they don't have any tax problems. Bless you people who have W-2s and your taxes are taken out every single week whenever you get paid. Okay? Your life is much easier than someone who is commission only, like you. You're a commission. I mean, you have your own company.
I work for my own business, and so I do give a W-2 to myself.
Right. Okay. So you have your own corporation.
Correct.
Okay.
But I definitely work with a lot of people that, they're commission-based, and so the taxes aren't being taken out. And so they, technically they should be paying in for every quarter.
Right.
Paying a percentage of their profits to the IRS.
Right.
And when you don't do that, of course, you're going to wind up with penalties.
Right.
But that's if you even know how to do it. A lot of people don't even know, what do I estimate? What do I send in? I don't even know, how much to send or what form to fill out when I send them in.
Right. Because people don't want to think about taxes, because taxes are, death and nobody wants to think about death.
Right.
Nobody wants to think about taxes. And that's just life. That's just the way life goes. And so what you do is you come in and you help somebody. So a lot of times people just don't file at all. They just kind of go incognito.
So they get kind of paralyzed by it. The first year they might file an extension, which gives you till October usually to file your taxes. And they think, oh, well, I'll take care of it over the summer. But then the kids get out of school, they go on vacation.
Right.
You come back and it's September, and then pretty quick it's October, and whoops, I missed the deadline.
Right.
You miss it once, and then it gets easier to miss it the second and third and fourth time.
Okay, so what happens if you don't file for years?
Well, I mean, in an extreme situation, the IRS has the ability to put you in jail.
Oh my gosh!
For not filing. It is.
When do they do that? How extreme does it have to be?
Yeah, it's a long ways down the road.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we can do in the meantime to keep that from happening.
Okay.
The IRS will send out several notices to let you know what's going on.
Right.
Make sure that you are aware that you have a balance due, or you're aware that you haven't filed.
Right.
They'll do everything they can to try to bring this to your attention.
Right.
And one of the final notices they send out is intent to levy.
Okay, the intent to levy. And what does that mean?
And so basically that's where they're putting you on notice that they're going to be potentially taking money out of your bank account, or they're going to be maybe starting garnishments on your paychecks.
Okay.
If you're receiving a paycheck, they're putting you on notice that they're gonna take some action.
Okay, they're going to take some action. And is that where you come in and help to negotiate the action?
Yes.
Okay.
So a lot of times, I do representation for people.
Okay.
So that basically means that, I can get a power of attorney.
Okay.
It's an IRS power of attorney.
Okay.
That I can get, and it gives me the ability to take over somebody's, issues for them.
Okay.
So basically, I get to be the wall between them and the IRS.
Interesting.
So, if the IRS wants to contact them, a lot of times they can't. If I have a power of attorney in place, then I'm the point of contact.
Okay.
So I handle all IRS communications.
Wow.
From that point.
And that way you can just talk to them directly.
Right.
And the rules, and they're not intimidated, they're not being called at work and things like that.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Now they'll still probably receive paper notices in the mail because it's still them. It's still the taxpayer that's at issue. But if the IRS makes any phone calls, they should be going through me. And if the IRS does end up calling the person, they can just tell them, hey, you know what? I've got Josh. He's my guy. He's taking care of this for me.
Right.
Give him a call.
Right.
And they don't have to talk to the IRS at all.
Absolutely. Okay. Even discussing this topic, I am feeling my heart right now. My blood pressure has raised. I feel stressed, a little stress thinking about it. The topic is really, really. How don't you feel that way? You seem really calm.
Well, I do this all the time.
Okay, so I mean, is this a sadistic pleasure that you're getting out of that? How do you sit in this? This is really
not
hard.
Exactly. No. So I mean, a lot of where I get my joy from, or where I really enjoy doing this part of the business,
right,
is because I get to help people.
Okay.
They're going through a tough situation. I get to help them through it.
Okay.
And help them fix it and get on top of it.
So you're more of a cleanup guy. You're a helper. You like to clean stuff up.
Absolutely.
Because you're a CPA. CPAs are very detailed. And this gives you the opportunity to come in and really help people clean up their lives and get these tax problems off of their back.
Exactly.
This monkey off their back.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think where I really shine isn't just so much in inputting the numbers onto a form.
Right.
But it's that I really can help the people. I can connect with them. I can let them know that, hey, we can help solve this problem so that you can sleep better at night.
Okay. So you get joy out of helping others to relieve their tax problems. Now, what do we
Absolutely.
do? So how much can someone negotiate with the tax man?
It really depends. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that we can help fix issues. We can, depending on the situation, we can set up a payment plan. Sometimes you can do that over 7 years, 10 years. There's different ways of doing that.
Okay.
And, sometimes we can put it into a currently not collectible status, where
Okay.
the IRS is basically just put on hold.
Okay.
That's in situations where maybe you don't have an income, but maybe you're in between jobs.
Okay.
There's other options where we can do an offer in compromise.
Okay.
Which is where we can settle people's tax debts.
Okay.
So in order to do that, I mean, we've got to get everybody caught up on their filings. But, we had a client recently that they owed about $46,000 to the IRS.
Right.
And we were able to get that settled for $156.
See, that's what I'm talking about. There's nothing to be nervous about. It's not, just pay it. Just, call them up, pay it, do what you can. Call Josh Dixon and get your taxes filed. And then call me and let's get you a house.
Absolutely.
And let's get you all set up again to where you are in the right mindset, where you're thinking positively, where you're thinking of what you can do, not what you can't do, where you're not straddled by a bunch of stress and a lack mentality, because that's what gets us in trouble, is whenever we're thinking lack and we're thinking about our problems and we're thinking that there's no way out and we're not seeking help, we're not getting the proper people lined up to help us out of our issues. We're just sitting there on our problems and drinking or eating or serial relationships and all this stuff. We're not getting out there and taking care of our business. We're just kind of letting it go. But if you want to take really good care of yourself, you can call Josh Dixon. How can they get in touch with you, Josh?
Well, I've got a office in Frisco.
Oh, you got that office. Yes.
Correct, yes. We're at the Hall Office Park just across from IKEA. A lot of people know where that's at.
Yes, I'd love an office over there.
Yeah.
That would be great.
And, they can get me at 214-390-9711.
Okay.
Or online at taxresolution.expert.
And you can help them. And if you mention Jenna Ryan, then he will give you a discount.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, we're going to break. Let's come back and talk about cleaning up your taxes and some more stuff. Talk to you soon.
Hi, I'm Rodney Anderson, inviting you to tune into my daily radio show from 11 a.m. to noon on Talk Radio 1190 a.m. Listen in for sound financial advice, and I'll answer all your money questions and more, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. on Talk Radio 1190.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Attention shoppers, clean up on aisle 14. Clean up on aisle 14. Someone dropped a jar of pickles. Pickles. Kosher pickles.
Beatboxing at a big box store. Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
A red minivan has the lights on in the parking lot.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Geico.
Jimmy John's Freaky Fast, Freaky Fresh.
I'm calling because I saw one of your delivery persons today, and he was totally naked.
Ma'am, I sincerely want to apologize for any...
Buck naked right there on the street.
Ma'am, we're doing all we can to...
And I say it's about darn time.
I know, and I'm gonna... Wait, what?
The human body is a beautiful thing, don't you agree?
Well,
We've suffered the tyranny of clothing for way too long.
Okay, but...
So thanks, Jimmy John's, for going all natural.
Actually, ma'am, it's our meats that are all natural.
Say what now?
Our meats are all natural. Wood smoked ham, choice roast beef, real fresh turkey breast, all natural and freaky fresh.
So I don't suppose I can expect all natural delivery in the future?
No.
Darn.
From the Jenna Ryan Weather Center, it's cloudy today with scattered showers and thunderstorms with a high near 68. Tonight will be cloudy with the low dropping near 62. I'm Dontrell Johnson. This report is brought to you by Think It Up.
Hi, I'm Nick Jonas, and I'm here to tell you about Think It Up, a new initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join us at thinkitup.org.
Hello, everyone. Do y'all like that song? I love that song. I love, old time rap. It's awesome. I don't know if that's rap, but hip hop.
Get things kind of jumping in the morning.
Yeah, I like that. It makes me feel good. Dontrell, welcome to the show. Did I say your name right? Yes, I did. He can't say hello. Well, he better get used to it. He's our new producer.
He's doing a great job.
Yes, he is. I like his weather. Did you hear his weather in between the session? In the break? He did the weather.
That was perfect, yeah.
Perfect weather. I love weather.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi. Listen,
he's gone.
He's got that radio voice going on. That's awesome. Hi. Yay, we're going to have fun. Okay, so what else? We're talking with Josh Dixon today. With Josh Dixon. He helps people with tax issues people that have liens against them, with people who have high balances on their accounts, back taxes, things like that. And you do, you work with the IRS. Tell us a little bit about how you do that.
Yeah, so there's actually, and I don't know if a lot of people probably don't realize this, the only people that can really represent you before the IRS are attorneys, enrolled agents, and CPAs.
Oh, really?
So it has to be one of those three in order to represent you. There are some situations where the IRS will let other people do it on a limited basis, but pretty much it's got to be an attorney, an enrolled agent, or a CPA.
So you're a CPA.
I am.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school at Metro State University in Denver.
Okay, awesome.
And then I moved down here to Dallas about 8 years ago.
Okay, did you work for an accounting firm?
I did. I worked for a firm in Denver, and then I also worked for a couple of years at a firm here in Dallas. And then I went out on my own.
Oh, wow.
And kind of started out with a general tax practice. But then a few years ago, I started running into some more people with tax issues.
Okay.
And decided that, you know what, I really like this aspect of the business. I really like working with the clients. I really like solving problems.
Okay, well, it's kind of avant-garde to go out there and do it on your own. I was a recruiter for accounting and finance for 10 years.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, I had my own firm, recruiting firm, and then I decided to become a missionary, but that's a long story way back when. But I was really, really good at placing people at the big three accounting firms.
Big four now.
It was big six back
Right.
when I used to do it, and we used to, fax over resumes before email. And yeah, it was big six, but now it's the big four.
Yeah.
So oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a great career, and it's really difficult to get your CPA. That's not an easy process.
Right. No, it took me about a year and a half even after I graduated. So
Wow.
to get through all the testing and everything, but I really enjoy doing taxes, whereas most people don't.
Okay, so you only do tax issues, or do you do just regular taxes? Do you have anybody that has regular taxes?
Yeah, no, I also have a big client base of just people that I help them file their returns every year. I do small businesses, personal.
Oh.
I can help people setting up S corporations, things like that.
Okay, and do you help people with their bookkeeping? With
No,
small
not so
businesses?
much.
You
I
don't
used to
like
do
doing
that, but that wasn't my forte. I really enjoy just focusing on tax.
Just taxes.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you're the tax man, and you come in and help people. And now, I think how did you get somebody's taxes down from, what did you say?
$46,000
down to $156.
That's right.
How did you do that?
So, it's kind of formula driven from the IRS.
Okay.
They do have a system that you need to follow. There's some different things we can do as far as strategy. We can we can strategize with people that even with people with high incomes, even people with a lot of assets. There's some different things we can do to help compromise and settle their IRS tax issues.
But that sounds a little extreme. How did that happen? What do you mean?
Well, so it's it was accumulation of years that they owed on.
Okay.
And then basically this person was not going to have an ability to pay anytime soon.
Okay.
So we were able to get it, down, and the IRS basically, has to approve it, has the final approval.
Right.
But I was able to work the numbers and, get the appropriate forms filed and get it taken care of for them.
Right. And I've had people literally go out and, we get them. We get them in, and then they file all their taxes. They file like 5 tax returns at a time, and then they pay their taxes, and then they can buy a house. You can actually get them approved to purchase a home really easily. So I will definitely be bringing.
So that's where a lot of my new clients come from. Is that the housing market's hot. People are tired of renting. They want to get out and get a house.
Right.
But they're stuck, or maybe they're renting a home even.
Right.
They're stuck though because they can't buy a house usually until you file all your taxes.
And people don't realize that it's possible. It's not like the end of the world if you owe taxes if you haven't filed in a couple of years because you're commission based and you haven't filed in a couple of years. It's not the end of the world. You can file and get a home.
Right. And a lot of times lenders
in 30 days.
Right.
I've seen it.
I was going to say a lot of times lenders aren't necessarily looking for you to just pay all your taxes.
Right.
We can do payment plans or whatever.
They'll allow a payment plan,
but
you have to.
They want you to file.
They want you to file. They make you file in order to get a house, and you can have a payment plan, but that payment plan is used as part of your debt to asset ratio.
True.
For qualifying for the loan.
That can affect some home buy purchases.
Right.
Sometimes people have to go with less expensive homes.
Right. But at the end of the day, don't let that stop you from getting the home, and really just, think positively, think of solutions, be solution oriented. Don't focus on negative things or how bad life is, but focus on how great life is and how wonderful things can be, and cleaning up what's there.
Right.
And then making more money. You say you don't have to make more money though, right?
No, not
in order to
necessarily.
get your taxes clear.
No, actually, sometimes it works out better if you don't have a lot of income.
Oh,
so
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So you just quit working for a while.
Well, sort of. I mean, there are. The IRS is kind of smart. They figured out that they don't want to let certain things slide through. That if you have a temporary setback, if you're unemployed for a little while, they might put that. We talked about the currently not collectible status. So basically, what that is they'll put it on hold until you get an income. They won't always necessarily settle.
Okay.
But in the example where I had a client that had a 6-figure income,
right?
And then couldn't find another job and ended up with a $30,000 income.
Right.
Sometimes that happens.
Right.
And then in that case, that's a good scenario where, if that person had a high tax debt, we could probably negotiate that down.
Okay. And so you get the power of attorney over that person's tax situation.
Yeah.
And only for the IRS, the power of attorney.
Yeah, it's a limited power of attorney.
And that's just so that the tax company will talk. I mean, the tax IRS will talk to you.
Correct.
Because otherwise they couldn't just talk. You'd have to get the person on the phone for a conference call every time the IRS calls.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm able to talk to the IRS on their behalf. I can negotiate settlements for them. I can set up payment plans. We don't, as a practice, we don't sign returns. Mm-hmm. Even though people could give us that authority, we don't sign returns. The people still sign them.
Right.
But, a lot of times we can essentially take over for people so that they don't have to continue to deal with the IRS. They don't keep getting phone calls. And there's a lot of scams going on right now.
Are there?
There are. And
okay,
there's people
what kind
calling
of scams are out there?
I've got a few where, people call up and they say, oh, well, I'm with the IRS and the police are on the way to your house. And, if you don't pay us
a call like that.
$4,000, then we're going to,
I've gotten a call.
You're going to jail.
This is the IRS and we are, doing something.
Yeah.
The phone call. Have y'all gotten those phone calls? I'm like, who?
I got like 6.
I mean, it's like, who is
I keep them saved on my phone in case anybody ever wants to listen.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a horrible call. And it's fake because the IRS is not going to do that.
Well, but you never know.
I mean,
will
they do that?
In rare instances,
we're going to come take you to jail?
No, not usually. No, it wouldn't be that extreme. But
okay.
the IRS does call people sometimes.
So you don't know if that person is a scam or not. How do
you don't
know
always
if it's
know.
A scam?
So, a lot of times they're going to identify themselves with the name and a badge number when they call you.
Okay.
And so that's kind of a good indication that they're probably the actual IRS calling you.
Wow.
But you don't always know. And
right.
so, the best thing to do is to probably call back the IRS through the main number. I wouldn't call back whatever number they give you because they're just going to give you their cell phone if it's a scammer,
right. So just call the
call
main
back
number.
through the main number, and then they will, and then find out what's going on with your account.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, you guys have any questions for us for the tax man here today? Let's see. Does anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, call us at 214-787-1190. We are talking taxes today with Josh Dixon. He handles tax issues and he handles small business taxes. And if you owe back taxes or, you're getting threats from the IRS, then he is the person you would want to contact to help you to get your life straightened out so that you can purchase a home and you can come to me and purchase a home.
Of course.
And then we had John on a little earlier and he will actually help you to sell your home if you're months behind on the payment. Well, I can help you sell your home too. While he's not here, he left. So I'll tell you, if you're behind on your payment, I could still help you sell your home very, very quickly. And we're talking like 5 days is what some of the listings are going in at. So you guys, it's been a wonderful show. We've got just a couple minutes left. Thank you for being here with us today,
Absolutely.
Josh.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. And you guys, so next week, I am going to share with you my dating experience of what went on because I'm promising one date I'm going on.
This is live on the air. You have to keep to that now.
I have to keep to this. I'm going to go on a date, put my puppies in the puppy pen, and go on a date and let you guys know what happened next week. So don't miss next week. And we're also going to have CB Jenny Holmes on next week, as long as everything's cool. We've got hopefully everything will be fine. We'll have CB Jenny on next week. If not, we'll have somebody else wonderful on. But I'm hoping to see Dustin next week. And I want to see you guys back here at 11 o'clock, Talk Radio, 1190 a.m. from 11 to 12 next week. And I look forward to seeing you and sharing my dating experience.
I'm planning to be here.
Are you going to listen?
Well, I mean, I'm going to listen.
Oh, you're going to listen? Okay, you can call in, and I really appreciate you today.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. Talk to you next week.
Well, there's a black man with a black cat.
The Jenna Ryan Show. All things real estate and beyond. If you're in the market for a new home or planning on selling your home, if you want to know what's going on in the DFW area or who the movers and shakers are in our community, tune into the Jenna Ryan Show, Sundays 11 a.m. to noon on Talk Radio 1190.